All right, guys, Tszyu. This is what I'm talking about. Tszyu against Vergil Ortiz. Now, you can forget about most of the other fights happening this year because this one right here has the potential to be fight of the year. It's got fight of the year written all over it. Now, I know I'm a bit biased. I know you guys know I'm all over the Tszyu hype train, but let me tell you, when this fight got rumored and announced yesterday and I first heard about it, I was through the roof with excitement for this one because quite seriously, I believe, in my humble opinion, that this fight has the ability to be fight of the night on this card and probably the real main event, with all respect to Terrence Crawford and Madrimov. But you guys let me know in the comments which one you're most excited about on this card. But Tszyu against Vergil Ortiz. Now, let me get into why I think this is such an awesome matchup. Now, because first of all, we've been complaining, you and I have been complaining as boxing fans for years about fights over-marinating. Well, not the case here because this announcement literally came out of nowhere. But not only that, you've got Tszyu, one of the top guys at 140 pounds, against Vergil Ortiz, one of the most feared prospects in the division, who's knocking guys out right, left, and center. So there's the fact that both of these guys are willing to get in the ring, no messing about, no politics. That is refreshing to see. It's a throwback to prior decades in the sport of boxing where things just got in the ring and they happened. And I'm so excited. And I think both of these guys deserve a massive hats off for getting in the ring. So whoever you're supporting, guys, Tszyu, Vergil Ortiz, give both of these guys a huge pat on the back for actually getting in the ring and putting it all on the line here. Because the reality is, in my opinion, both of these guys are in for the trickiest, most difficult fight of their careers. And I have to say, from the point of view of Tszyu, I would much rather see this fight than the Fundora rematch or the Errol Spence fight because it is an incredibly exciting style matchup. I don't think either of these guys know how to take a backward step. Vergil Ortiz has got a vicious body attack. Now, albeit he's been out of the ring for a couple of years. In his one comeback fight, he didn't look really very much of anything because the fight was over so quickly, and we'll see what he looks like this Saturday, okay? So let's not maybe make too many assumptions about whether Vergil Ortiz is washed or is rusty or whether he is fresh and ready to go. We won't know until we see how he looks this Saturday, but the reality is this: the guy can punch. The guy is one of the most feared names out there in the division, and Tszyu could have easily picked a tomato can to have his comeback fight with, especially because Tszyu and Fundora was only a few weeks ago, so the guy has barely gotten over his injury, but he clearly does not take an easy fight. And I think as boxing fans, we can all applaud that, and both of these guys are going to be in the center of the ring, slugging it out. Neither one of them is going to take a backward step. We're going to have some of the most vicious body work that you see in any high-profile fight this year. And I have to say, with all respect to Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, Dmitry Bivol, and Artur Beterbiev, from an action point of view, I think this fight right here has the potential to beat both of those ones. And I say from an action point of view just because of how the styles of these two guys mesh up. I will be shocked if this one somehow turns into a boring fight. And like I say, I believe it should be headlining this card. But let me know in the comments what you guys are most excited to for this one. I think, personally for me, Tszyu is going to actually shock a lot of people out there. I think he's going to upset Vergil Ortiz. I believe Vergil Ortiz will probably go into this fight as a slight favorite, just because also he's probably a little bit more well-known to the American audience at this point. Tszyu, I believe, can upset the odds here, and I believe he can actually upset Vergil Ortiz. And the reason why I feel that is because Tszyu, number one, was dominating Sebastian Fundora for the first two rounds until that freak elbow changed the trajectory of the fight. That's the first point. Second point is that Vergil Ortiz has been out of the ring with inactivity, but more importantly than that, I believe his health problems outside of the ring, as unfortunate as they may be, could compromise his conditioning to the point that Tszyu, one of the most vicious body punchers in the sport, is able to exploit Vergil Ortiz's weakness by going after him to the body, standing in the center of the ring, working him over. And I believe Tszyu not only can beat Vergil Ortiz, I believe he can stop him. I believe he can stop him by going after him to the body and wearing him down. Now, does that mean that Tszyu definitely wins this fight? Absolutely, this is competitive. This is probably one of the toughest fights that either guy can take in the division. So Tszyu has got to be on his A game because Vergil Ortiz is going to be coming for him. He is going to be trying to get the stoppage himself. And if Tszyu has an off night, he is going to be in real trouble here. So Tszyu needs to come in, make no mistake about it, at his very best. But I expect he's going to have addressed the things that went wrong in the Fundora fight. I expect he will have a better or a more prepared corner. His team has already been to the United States now, so they know what to expect. Last time out, it was the first time. They've gotten, I think, the rust out of the way, and I believe Tszyu is going to impress and shock a lot of people by stopping Vergil Ortiz in this fight. But let me know, guys, what you think in the comments. Is this the matchup you wanted to see for both guys? Do you think it should be the main event on this show? Or would you have rather seen Tszyu or Vergil Ortiz get in the ring with someone else? Maybe Tszyu against Fundora in the rematch. Maybe Tszyu against Errol Spence. But here's the other thing. I believe, given how the Saudis like to structure these shows, where you basically almost have an elimination bracket, and you've seen this on the heavyweight shows in Saudi Arabia, where you kind of have all these matchups and you sort of eliminate people down into a semifinal and a final and a main event, whatever. I believe that the winner of this one, and this is just speculation on my part, but I believe the winner of this one will be next in line to fight the winner of Terrence Crawford against Israil Madrimov. And if that happens, again, terrific matchup for Tszyu, who I believe will emerge victorious here. But like I said, guys, super excited for this matchup. I will be looking at tickets as soon as they go on sale for this fight. I cannot wait for this fight, for this card, for Terrence Crawford and Madrimov, for Jarrell Miller against Andy Ruiz, for Andy Cruz, who's on this card, for David Morrell, who's on this card, for Pitbull Cruz against Valenzuela. But this one here is the real main event, in my opinion, guys. I am literally over the moon. This has got Fight of the Year written all over it. So let me know, guys, in the comments, what are your thoughts on this fight? It's going to be an exciting few weeks until we get into the ring. Thank you, as always, for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next video.